Greetings, humans. I'm George, and welcome back to the Windmill for Corpses. Tech. Tech death? Yes. I mean, I knew it was death, but I didn't know it was also tech. So the deal with tech death is, we like Beyond Creation, Irreversible Mechanism, Artisan Era bands, that kind of stuff. That's the modern tech death. But if you're gonna think the inception of tech death, you think Cryptopsy, Nile, and Necrophagist, and I think the Faceless. So these are pioneers, and I think they're where tech death started branching away from where deathcore and brutal death metal went. So they have both that element of gore and filth, but also that element of tech and speed, stuff like that, from what I've heard. I've heard a lot of Nile. I think their latest album from 2019, and it was very good. And I heard a bit of Necrophagist. I don't think I ever heard Cryptopsy. So I'm really curious about this one, Graves of the Fathers, from an album so gracefully called None So Vile. This was a suggestion from Tristan, who is a very sick dude and an awesome guitar player. But by sick, we mean he's cool, not actually, he doesn't have a cold, at least as far as I know. Unless you do, in case you do, we hope you get better, Tristan. Yes. But, yeah. So, Graves of the Fathers. Are you ready? No. Let's talk about it. I think it's safe to say we like the new wave of technical death metal better, yes. But I can see why this sort of style took off. Yeah. It started having all the transitions all the time. They refused to settle. Yeah. And it also reminds me of Suffocation. Yeah, Suffocation. Partly because it suffocates me. Yeah, I think, honestly, if I'm to think of it instinctively, I think that's where the direction change started between like brutal stuff and tech stuff. Suffocation is on the slamming end. Yes. And this is more on the fast, end of things. So this is, riffs. And, riffs. And riffs. And, riffs. And riffs. And riffs. And blast beats. Oh yeah, and riffs. Really filthy vocals. Not a lot of melody. Riffs. I like the transitions. I like the transitions a lot. You mentioned them already. You know what I like? Riffs. It's full of riffs! Yes! And it's got so many of them! Yes. And yeah, I love the drum transitions. Yes, those are very important when you play this sort of stuff because the mixing wasn't they didn't have production that was evolved enough to help you hear the riffs clearly, so the drums really accentuate that. Yeah. That sort of really articulate feeling. So, yeah, it's vile. And it has riffs. Think there was a single thing in there that repeated. Oh dear Lord. I mean, there might have been, because when they pile up so many riffs. Upon riffs. Upon riffs. Don't do that again! Upon riffs. It could be that the 937th riff is actually a repetition of the 331st. Aside from the comedic nature of your description, yes. I don't know how that drummer is still alive. Because it's not just a resilience training, but it's a memory training too. Yeah. So, it's not only his muscles that are about to burst, but I'm pretty sure his brain is about to explode too. Because there's only so much stuff you can pack in. You know, it's like a hard drive. You keep it full for too long, great. Yeah. Or, you know, maybe his brain starts extending, but then skull's gonna get cracked. You know, then that's how you probably get the artwork. That guy doesn't look very well. Right. So we just decided that the drummer is on the artwork. And he's not doing very well. Also, Riffs. Does this band play live? I think they do. I mean, Archspire play live. Yeah, actually, fair point. Okay, it also gave me Death vibes. The band, not the thing. Well, also the thing, actually. Yeah, fair. Yeah, but I think Death is more progressive. Yes. More slammy and more, it changes the pace more. Yes. This changed the sort of riff style and the rhythm a lot, but the pace was the same. Like I think there was one tempo variation in the first part where it went way off track for a few seconds and I was like, what the hell is going on? And then it landed back into a groove. But, no, I'm pretty sure there were more tempo variations. I think it's just after a while they kind of blend into each other and it just becomes like a pattern of variations to the degree to which you don't notice that they're variations anymore because the variations are what's constant. That's what I felt. I think there were a lot of tempo changes. You know? You can tell people that the only thing constant is change and make it a social media quote that everyone gets to like. Or you can do this and actually embody it.
Provide evidence. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're done.
Riffs. So if you enjoyed this reaction, we greatly appreciate the likes and shares. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe with bells on. Thank you very much for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed your stay, and we'd love to see you back at the Windmill very soon. Riffs.